Hi, my name is Leila Michelle, and I am a self-love coach. My passion is to help minority women to have healthy relationships with themselves and others through self-love, self-awareness, and self-improvement. I myself have gone through a very long journey in my own mental health, and I am now an advocate for women who suffer with mental health issues. And I want to just tell my story and be able to give someone hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that your mental health is very important. Self-love is very important, and it's not always going to be dark. That one day that you will see the light and there is hope. So I wanted to start a series called Watch It Wednesday, where I share a little something personal with you all, something that I don't put on my blog post, just something a little bit closer to me. And I have been personally seeing a coach and going through the process of really understanding my relationship with self, my relationship with others, and identifying the trauma that I have faced growing up and even as an adult that has made me who I am and who has given me the certain things that trigger me and cause me to react in certain ways. So today I wanted to share with you all a poem I wrote after my very first session. My coach is Love McPherson. She is an amazing person and overall very insightful and wise. And I would say after talking to her for 2 hours, I really was able to discover some of the root of my initial trauma as a child, which was eye-opening to me and left me in tears. So I want to share this poem and then kind of talk a little bit about what this poem meant to me, and then also just give you something to, think about as far as where your trauma started. Because if we don't heal from the trauma that we've gone through, it's going to definitely make it harder for us to just thrive as adults, and especially in our mental health. It's going to be almost impossible to be able to grow if we're not dealing with trauma that has been there for years and years and years, that is constantly triggering us and we don't know why. So, without further ado, this is It's Not My Fault. Sitting here, replaying the past in my mind, trying to create a new way to define the memories that have burdened me my entire existence, the lies I attached to those memories, ever so persistent. Lie number 1 was the story I told myself about my father. Was I a daddy's girl, or was I just a bother? I remember the bra I found under his couch that made me come to a halt. I tell that little girl now, him leaving, it's not your fault. Lie number 2 was the idea that no one could love me, all the while my mother pointing out the negatives she could see in me. If I could have a meeting with that teenage me as a very biased consult, I would have held her while she cried and whispered, it's not your fault. Lie number 3 was thinking I could only leave that abusive man to keep my child protected, as if my body wasn't valuable enough to be also loved and respected. Mature Leela would say with no hesitation to me, as a newly adult, when a man stoops so low to physically hurt you, it's never your fault. Lie number 4 was thinking I was too needy, wanting my husband, wanting him to want me. I didn't understand then why I felt so trapped when it was his energy I was feeling that was wanting to be free. Lie number 5, my marriage is over because of what I've done. Lie number 6, I will always be the option, but never the one. Lie number 7, if you create boundaries, no one will fight for you. Lie number 8, baggage doesn't disappear and you can never start anew. Tonight, I started a journey on the path of love. It ended with this clear and precise result. The lies and fears in my mind aren't true, and no, it's not my fault. Sitting here replaying the past in my mind, trying to create a new way to define the memories that have burdened me my entire existence, but my desire to be happy is much more persistent. So I wanted to share that because a lot of times we carry things that have happened in our past and we carry it as though we could change them. A lot of times the things especially that happen as children, we can't change. We couldn't change. We didn't have the power to change them. As a child, we have to definitely be able to rely on the adults in our lives, our parents, our teachers, our pastors, and when they fail us, it's a hurt that takes a long time to heal. And I've gotten to the place now of realizing a lot of big moments in my life were surrounded by the fact that I took blame for things that were definitely not my fault to begin with. And being free of that, to tell myself now as a 27-year-old adult that it was not your fault and you are going to be okay because you have complete power of your now, the present, and the future. That's very empowering. And I wanted to share that with you and let you know, think about the things in your own past that you take blame for, that you feel like it's your fault, and change the story. What would that person, the person you are now, tell that old person to change the viewpoint of that situation and make you able to see it maybe in a different light? That no, it shouldn't have happened, but it definitely wasn't you that caused it to happen. Some things in this life just happen, and we have to be able to be resilient and grow from it and understand that it was the surrounding circumstances. It had nothing to do with our own self-value. So I hope you could get something out of that, and I hope you watch and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, thank you. This is Leila Michelle, self-love coach. Have a great evening.